Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michelle Alignay. It's another week of a good discussion regarding relationships, our well-being, and faith, at paano ba tong tatlong to interplays in the various areas of our lives, and how can we move on to be better, to be stronger, and to be more resilient individuals and family members. So join me for the rest of the episode. Please come sit down with me over coffee, yung matapang-tapang na kape. And I would like to discuss this afternoon a topic na this has been very controversial this past week. Not because of celebrities splitting up, but also I get questions from friends many times. So what are the things that we need to note in a relationship? So we're going to talk about relationship red flags. So join me. Huwag nyo naman itatag dito yung mga kailangan marinig. I-share nyo na lang secretly sa kanila at baka mahiya sila for them not to join us. So if you think that this is helpful for you, please do invite your friends via sending them this live stream. Get your coffee and then let's discuss. Kasi alam ko marami tayong pag-uusapan. I'm so excited about this topic this afternoon. Also, let's just greet everybody. Hi, friends. Hello, welcome to Coffee Break. Hi, Romaine and Glenda. Ayan, sa mga nauna na dito. And I would like to ask you, pag sinabi nating relationship red flags, so when you hear about it, ano ba yung ang arte naman yan, Doc? Relationship red flag. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What comes to you? What is it that you thought of? Ano yung naiisip mo pag narinig mo? Red flags yan. What is it that comes to your mind? Ano yung naiisip mo? What can you connote? What comes to your mind when red flags sa relasyon? Alam mo na yung red flag, hindi mo pa pinansin. Have you heard about that? Posible ngang nandyan na yan before. Last week, if you would like to recall, this topic that I have this afternoon, it's very connected to the topic that we had last week on self-worth as adults. Ano sa tingin nyo? Ano yung mga nandito na regular coffee breaker friends? Ayan, teen, toxic relationship, Glenda, violent. Ano yung mga, why do you think, kayo tinanong, why do you think that self-worth is connected to the red flags of relationship? Ano ang connection ng self-worth? Bakit kailangan mo i-replay yung last week? Why do you need to replay the last week episode? So that you can actually deal with the topic for this week. Sa akin, napaka konektado niyan eh. Ano friend, hanep sa topic. Yes, kailangan to ng maraming madlang people. I'm getting a lot of messages the past days because of this. And if you would like to access, I have this article interviewed by Smart Parenting regarding what is it that we should be able to do to get out of maybe possible toxic relationship. So I would like us to reflect about relationship red flag. O di ba meron ba kang ball pen? Ayan, teen, if you know your worth, you can bravely walk out from a toxic relationship. Babalikan ko yung point ko regarding self-worth as adults. I always share this with others that our relationship with ourselves, our sense of worth is the template from which all relationships will be anchored. So yung pagpapahalaga natin sa sarili natin, that's actually the anchor. Even though we hear many times that we love God first, and that's really the primary because our self-worth is connected with our relationship with the Lord. And then the following, if you are married or you are in the relationship, diba, you serve others, or if you are in a family, you love others, you give all out to them, and that is okay. But the secret formula there, it's not about giving everything to our loved ones. If you are married, if you are in a partnership, if you are in a relationship, it's just not about being there. It's just not about laging uunahin sila. Because sometimes we have to understand you have to understand that Even the Bible said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Ibig sabihin, it's a given already that we have a relationship with the Lord, we have a relationship with ourselves so that we can have more love to give. And bakit ba nangyayari? The irony of relationship red flag, the irony of relationship, and look at it this way, when we are in a relationship, we would like to give our all. That's the irony of it. That's the natural pull. That's the natural tendency we have whenever we are in a relationship. Tama ba? When we are in a relationship, parang, oh my God, give all. That is actually how we love. That's actually how we show our passion. That's how we actually are as individuals. But what we often forget is that it's already supposed to be, ideally, that sense of worth that we have for ourselves is already in place. So, if we are, let's talk about the context of romantic relationship. Boyfriend, fiance relationship, and of course, the marital relationship. If we would look into that, so tell me if you're married, tell me if you're in a relationship, just press heart if you are, para makita ko kung sino kayo. So the irony of it is that uh, when we are in a relationship, we enter a relationship in what they called rose-colored glasses. Ang ganda naman yan, Doc. Rose-colored glasses. Or we have these blinders. Ano tong blinders? We do not see everything. Rose-colored glasses, ang tingin natin when we are in love, when we are in that state that we are so into that relationship, we find it difficult to be objective. Ibig sabihin, lahat kaya rose-colored glasses, lahat ng makita natin, parang may hearts. Parang yung mga ginagawa niyo dito, di ba? I'll look at what I'm gonna do. I keep pressing heart here. So in this live stream. So if you are in a relationship, we have a tendency that everything na makita natin connoted to the person that we love. May makita lang tayong bulaklak, ay, paborito niya yan. May makita tayo ng pagkain, ay, gusto niya yan. So that's the tendency. That's the addicting quality of love. But the irony is that find it hard. We find it hard. We find it hard to look objectively. Kaya, as my friend is saying here, tanggalin yung helmet para matauhan. Yes. Or, tanggalin natin yung glasses, tanggalin natin yung blinder. Or, minsan, kailangan natin tingnan objectively yung relasyon. That is why, if you would observe, it's hard for people in a relationship na hindi makita kung ano yung red flags. Sino ang mas madalas makapansin na, ay, parang meron siyang hindi magandang pangitain. Parang there's a trait or there's a characteristic that your partner have that will not be long will not be healthy in the long run. Sino ang mas madalas makita? If we are in the relationship, who can see it? Is it us? Tayo ba nakakakita? Tell me friends, sa mga, ang dami ko ng mga friends na nandito, who are mostly, let me ask you, who are mostly in, people, ayan, very good kay Rose. Ikaw ang bibigyan ko ng star, my love. People outside the relationship. 'Di ba? Kaya sinong nasa labas. Kaya minsan, pero the tendency is nagagalit tayo if our parents call our attention. Parang hindi yata maganda pakitungo niyang nanliligaw sa'yo o boyfriend mo, ni hindi man lang kami kinikilala at hinaharap. Friends, di ba yung friends na parang, friend, okay lang sa'yo itrato ka niya na ganyan, okay lang na ganyan siya, hindi ganyan talaga siya, and then we're fully accepting. We feel that I love that person despite of. So, look at it this way. We have, if you are in a relationship, one, you have to be open-minded that these things happen. It can happen to all of us. Kaya nga siya red flags. They are warning signals. The next thing is that we have to be very objective. Honestly, we have to be very objective. That's why if our friend would approach us and tell us na parang um meron akong napansin, meron akong na-observe, baka lang gusto mong malaman. So we have to be very objective. And actually, this is a way for us to get to know our partners, is to look for patterns. Kasi minsan, sometimes it can be an isolated incident. Some people, isang beses mangyari and then okay na. But if there is already a pattern, an unhealthy pattern na madalas pag ito nangyari, equivalent ito. Or pag sinabi niyang ito, ang susunod niyang reaction, ito. Tapos mag-aaway kami. So if you see that, so okay, tuwing ganito nangyayari, this is the equivalent. So friends, you have to be open that I need to see and get to know that person, hindi lang kung ano yung pinapakita sa akin, pero kung ano rin yung observation ng ibang tao sa kanya. At the same time, I have to be objective. Hindi pwedeng puro being in love, full accepting. It's very subjective when we are in love. But if you would look at it objectively, the way that your friends, the way your parents, and the way that your well-meaning people around you would see it, and then you would actually see it. Makikita natin ang gusto natin makita, pero di ba, the irony in this life is that hindi natin makikita kasi ayaw nating hanapin, ayaw natin tingnan, ayaw nating i-confront, ayaw natin pakinggan. Kaya, I would really say there are some people, they are in relationships. The funny thing is that they have well-meaning friends sharing them. Tapos, ang nangyayari, nagiging kontrabida yung friends. Have you experienced that? Nagiging kontrabida yung friends. Kasi yung mga friends sinasabi na, uy, baka ganito kayo, or ito yung sitwasyon ng lalaking yan, binibigyan tayo ng valid feedback na pakiramdam natin ang tendency, pinipintasan nyo naman siya. Hindi nyo siya kilala ko siya. So you have to gauge ano yung level of relationship natin. The first thing that we can note, aside from looking for patterns, you have to gauge also the level of relationship with those people. The people around you, if they are well-meaning, if they are really the people concerned about you, may maganda yung intention. Hindi yan basta-basta maninira. At kung kilala ka nila at may concern sila sa'yo, they will tell you. But other people, they will not tell you so kasi natatakot sila, or baka their concern is baka magalit because we have a tendency to be so. So, here are the things that we should note. I think parang hindi kasya yung ating coffee break for this afternoon. So, hahatiin ko siya sa dalawa. Are you still here, friends? Sa inyo, what is that critical red flag that you should note para sa inyo? Bago ko magsimula, what is the critical red flag that you should note if you are in a relationship? Or ikaw ang papasok sa isang relasyon, ano yung isang importanteng bagay na para sa akin, ito talaga, kailangan ko tong manood. Do you have any? Do you have any? Can you put it in the comment? Or if you are already in a relationship, ano yung isang bagay na parang hindi ito talaga tiningnan ko kung meron ito. Kasi I don't want that to happen. There you go. So, can you put that in the comment section, friends? Okay, the first thing, as while I'm waiting, ayan, emotional and physical abuse. What is the critical red? Yeah, thank you, Glenda, for telling everyone. What is the critical red flag you should know in a relationship? Gusto ko yan sinabi mo, good relationship with his mother. So, if ever that we are in, if this is a romantic relationship, no? Ito, gusto kong i-capture ito. Yung sinabi ni Hazel, yeah, physical abuse, complacency, wow, talagang complacency, lack of transparency, disrespectful, ay daming hugot ng aking mga friends here in Coffee Break. When the person is generous to you and not to family and loved ones, anger management problem, totoo yan. So let's look first dito sa, the first thing that I like, this is something that I like asking my students. I give, whenever I'm in a class, my college students, or even my college students know this, and even whenever I give talks on boy-girl relationship to high school students, I like asking them this. How does a person relate with his with the significant people around him? How does the person, he or she, relates with significant people around him? So, dyan papasok yung sinabi mo, Allison, good relationship with his mother. Yes, ito rin, Car, when the person can't be generous to your loved ones. Kaya magandang malaman ano ang relasyon, how does the person relate, the first note, the person, how does the person relate with the significant people around him. So, sino to? Parents, siblings, kung meron lolo't lola na kasama sa bahay. Yan. Kasi, I like asking this, saan mo makikita ang tunay na ugali ng isang tao? Or sabi natin, sa isang hayop, saan noon makikita ang totoong ugali ng isang hayop? Saan? In the zoo or in the wild? Where would you see the natural characteristics, the natural tendency of an animal? In the zoo or in the wild? Saan? In the zoo or in the wild? You answer my question. Where would you actually see? Because that's my favorite analogy. Yes, Jean, in the wild. In the wild. In the natural habitat. O ito yun. Alam nyo ba na yung ligawan, pag nagliligawan and the getting to know stage, that is where you get to know the zoo, the what do you call that? That controlled tendency. Di ba sa experiment merong controlled group at saka yung experimental group. Yung controlled merong intervention. Yung experimental, yung talaga inoobserbahan, yung walang intervention. Yung natural. So, yun yung natural. Because that's the natural, that's where the person interacts. So, yung pag nagliligawan, pag kayong dalawa lang in a date, for example, mag-boyfriend, hindi mo makikita ang tunay na ugali ng isang tao when everything is okay, when everything is, what do you call that, curated, when everything is going well. In a date where everything is fancy, where everything is feel good, hindi mo makikita yung tunay na karakteristik ng isang tao. Saan mo makikita yan? Sa wild. How is he with the parents? How is he with the grandparents? How is he sa kapatid? How is he sa anak? Another thing is that, kaya gusto ko yan, Bridget, how he treats security guard, waiter, service providers. Yes, alam nyo, sa mga teenagers, ito gustong-gusto ko itong sinasabi, pero I think very relevant sa ating lahat, no? Um, you have to check, is this person also dealing with barkadas properly? I don't know if you've been in that situation na pag sa barkada niya, nagmumura siya, basag-gulero siya, pero pag ikaw yung kaharap, parang sakristan, parang very holy and proper. So, nasaan yung tunay na tendency niya? I'm sure it's not when he is so good, but when he's out there, the one who swears, the one who's like one of the gang. That's the natural tendency. That's why when you go to the zoo, it's very curated kasi na-tame na lahat eh. Controlled na. Pero hindi naman ito yung totoong stress ng tao. Or the animal, it's not stress in the zoo. Walang stress doon. So curated na yung buhay in the zoo. So in the wild, in the real environment, welcome to real life. That's where we are at the moment. So because of that, you see first the red flags. How is he, babato ko yung tanong, is he how is he relating to the important people around him? Is it controlled or curated, or is it actually very natural? So, alam nyo, isang tip dito ha, dun sa mga magbo-boyfriend pa lang, madalas tanungin, ayoko, Dok, okay lang ba yun yung barkada ko? Siya yung, manligaw sa akin. Alam nyo, para sa akin, pinakamaganda na kilala mo as barkada yung mapapangasawa mo. Kasi walang itatago yan. Pag barkada kayo, alam nyo yung kalokohan, alam nyo yung mga tendencies niyan, alam nyo na, alam nyo yung bad side, alam nyo rin na alam niyo yung good side. There's no pretenses if you're barkada. Pero kung hindi mo kilala at nanligaw lang sa'yo, then it means that the person is already putting up a good front. That's what I call best foot forward to begin with. And you will not see the real character of the person habang nagliligawan. Makikita nyo yan when he is in his natural environment, meaning with family, with friends, with a class, with and whenever he's in the middle, he or she is in the middle of the problem. That will bring me to number two. So the first one, know how the person relates with his significant people. The next one, how is the person whenever he is uh, how does the person deal with heightened emotions? How does the person deal with problems, heightened emotions, and also how is the person level of openness and vulnerability? Masyado ba siyang ma-emote? So ito simpleng tanong, the the capability of the person to deal with stressful events. That will bring out the character. So if the first one, check the relationship with the significant people. The second one is check for the tendency to deal with stressful events, with the problems, and ang gusto ko yan, Car, how does the person deals with surprise chaos? Totoo yan. Uh, I would like you to, ay bago tong lahat. Jing, you're asking if it's wise to appropriate to ask our partner to choose friends. You can only suggest, but that's the life of the other person. Sa kanya yon. So, dyan mo makikita yung values niya. Dyan mo makikita yung values. So, how does the person deal with surprise chaos? Gusto ko yan. How, the second, so, surprise chaos, that's another word. Stressful events or sabi nga ni Carmen Wells, surprise chaos or significant events. Kung yung isa, significant people, yung isa, significant events or stressful events. Bakit significant? Kasi pwedeng okay or hindi. And madalas, the person would either react or respond. Remember, a person who responds is very objective and he see how can you move out and grow from the situation. And a person reacts, yan yung may anger issues, yan yung mga tao na may anger issue, yan yung mga tao na they keep being fixated with the situation, that they keep bashing the situation, or itong critical, the person do not deal with the situation at all. Doon tayo kailangan kasi well, our tendency is to always just check how is he responding, how is she reacting. Yan yung tanong lang. But honestly, there are people who will just get stuck na ayaw nilang i-confront yung sitwasyon. And that shows a lot. The person's unwillingness, tama, umiiwas, unwillingness to deal with a critical situation is actually a lot already. It's already speaking his reaction, and that is non-confrontation. Are you with me? So, you see that? Kung umiiwas sa sitwasyon, ni yung emosyon mo na kinikwento mo, I'm so upset. I am so, parang nag-open tayo dun sa isang tao and sabi niya, okay lang yan, sige, let's pray about it. But you never listen to me. I don't need solutions right away. I need you to listen to me. I need you to sit down with me. I need you to help me. Yes, that's another term. It's stonewalling, or some people would just deny because that will actually show their true self-worth. Some people, hindi naman automatic talaga na ayaw nilang i-deal. But because mabubukeng na basag sila. Mabubukeng yung kanilang insecurities. So that's one. So how is she or he with significant events? So are they confronting the situation? Are they cooperating with the situation? Or are they concealing themselves behind the situation? Meron naman pa victim effect. 'Di ba? Yung parang ako na lang yung lagi nangyari ng ganito, naaawa sa sarili. So, kita mo rin yung value ng tao sa self-worth, di ba? So, connected talaga yung self-worth here. So, another aspect that we should look into. So, first is dealing with significant people. The second, dealing with stressful events or surprise chaos or significant events. The third one, uh, are your important values aligned? Ayan. Are your important values aligned? Do you see that? Are your important values aligned? Nako, dito nagkakatalo. Minsan, it's not a matter of who's right and wrong. No, this is not about that. Eh, tama naman yung values ko sa pamilya, di ba? Tama naman yung values sa trabaho. But there are times that your value, top priority, halimbawa yung mental health mo at yung well-being mo, top priority. Pangalawang priority mo lang yung career. Pero siya, top priority niyang kumita kahit na ano pang mangyari sa mental health niya, kailangan meron siyang security in the bank. So, you see that when two people deal with each other, the level of priority, while they value the same things, the level of priority that they give the to certain situations, certain values, certain aspects of life, it makes a lot of difference on the manner that they deal with it. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? Ang dami mong hugot, friend. Ah, gustong-gusto ko yung mug mo kahit 2 oras tayo magsama dito. Caring-caring. Okay. Um, tama. Important values are aligned, Car, or he would always approve of yours when you're around. But if you're together, he's another person. Yes. Yan yung hindi natin tinitingnan. Tinitingnan lang natin, mabait naman siya, mahal niya yung pamilya niya. Yes, pero saan nakalagay? Posibleng mahal nga yung pamilya, pero hindi naman pinapakita. Or kaya natin ramdam, hindi mo naman nakikita mo, hindi mo pinapahalagan kasi sa atin, top priority yon. My family's well-being is my priority and my family's financial security is my second priority. E paano kung baligtad kayo? Career and financial security. So that's why even though that you share the similar values, it's important that you are aligned and you would see also the consistency and how it is transposed in other areas of their lives. Kaya dito papasok yung values, intentionality, and consistency. Meaning, ginagawan ba ng paraan? Sinabi mong mahalaga sa'yo. Sinabi mong mahalaga, pero ginagawan mo ba ng way para ipakita kung gaano kahalaga? 'Di ba? Okay, mahal ka nung mahal mo yung anak mo, natural, mahal mo ako. Pero is the person showing otherwise? Is the person showing that, hey, oo, mahal ko. Mahal ko, ito pinapakita ko, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Glenda, salamat talaga. Hindi ko na kayang i-type. Values, intentionality, and consistency. So that's the third. You always have to check. And friends, ito ha, this is so critical because even for married people, hanggang ngayon, we are actually deadlocked. So, kailangan natin makita, paano kung kasal na tayo? So, you have to continuously align. You have to continuously discuss. You have to continuously talk to each other. Yan, tama yung sinabi mo, Leah. That's a sad reality. Priority ang money kesa family. Okay lang masira ang family basta may pumapasok na pera. Yes, totoo yan. So, mahirap itong i-question kasi kanya-kanya tayo ng values, di ba? Iba-iba yung priority. Pero if you are married, that is why we're supposed to continuously align as a married couple on our values. Okay, so that's the third. I will run to you six and then on Thursday, I will run to you the next six. Okay, ang dami kong nasulat. I did not have reference for this. These are all top of minds. So the number four, your your vulnerability and communication. Gusto kong isulat yung vulnerability. Meron minsan madalas tanungin to sa akin, Dok, paano po kung yung asawa ko, yung boyfriend ko, ayaw mag-open? You know what I mean? Ayaw mag-open. Yung, ako po madaldal, siya po hindi kumikibo. Para sa akin, red flags yun. Kasi in any relationship, kahit mahal mo sila, things will not turn out well, especially if you are not talking. So vulnerability is that maturity to open yourself up, na even though that I feel bad, even though that I have issues towards you and I'm upset, I can open it up to you and you will be able to understand me. Even though I'm afraid, even though there's anxiety, even though that it's going to be very unpleasant, I can open up to you and we can talk about it. If your partner, if your family member do not want, or if your spouse do not want to talk to you or deal with you about your emotions, sabihin sa'yo, nag-i-emote ka na naman, puro ka na lang nararamdaman ko, puro ka na lang vulnerability, and they would belittle your emotion. For me, that is critical. Because emotional maturity is so needed in any relationship. People may have good IQ, but if EQ fails and we are not able to deal with feelings, and then that's going to go downhill. Because how would you connect? That vulnerability is actually where you connect, where you become, yun yung sinasabi ni Virginia Satir, that human to human connection, that human to human interaction, that human to human alignment, that we grow together in the basis of our strengths, but then we connect on that basis of real person to person communication. And a person to person, human to human, not head to head, but person to person, your whole being is there. It's actually one of the most beautiful thing that can happen to a relationship. So if that partner of yours is not minding your emotion at ayaw kang i-deal with, pag ikaw ay nagdadrama, wag ka naman masyadong madrama. Pero yung bang talagang upset ka na at sabihin sa'yo, wag mo, okay lang yan. It will turn out well, and they're belittling, not even listening to you. And they themselves not even opening it up to you. Alam mo na nasa critical situation sila, pero sasabihin nila, okay lang yan, okay lang yan. Magpa-pray na lang ako, pero hindi nila hinaharap that they are also at fault. That is already a warning sign. And ito, sama na natin, vulnerability is admitting that I am wrong. Vulnerability is admitting that I am insecure. Vulnerability is admitting that I am weak at the moment and I need help. That's vulnerability. And communication is actually, sabi nga ng mga researchers and theories, one of my favorite is David Olson. He said that communication is the grease that smoothens friction in any relationship, both marriage and family. It's the grease that smoothens the friction. So if there's lacking in vulnerability, if there's disconnection, yung communication, and then it's going to be very critical because how would you resolve issues and problems na natural lang na nangyayari sa buhay? How will you grow together? How will you age together? Paano nyo aayusin ang problema kung yun pa lang sa simula pa lang they do not want to deal with you or do not want to talk with you and connect with you? That is so critical. So the first one, as I said, that's the significant people. The second is stressful events. The third, it's the values, intentionality, and consistency. And the fourth, vulnerability and communication. And the number five, is the person mature and takes responsibility for his or herself? That sense of maturity of the other person. Kung nakikita nyo na namamas boy, ay nako, wag na friends, wag na. Kayo lang yung maghahanap ng batong, sorry, I have to say this, batong ipupukpok sa inyo kasi naniniwala ako that our husbands, if you are a married woman like me, our husbands are not our kids. Hindi natin sila papalakihin. So kung mag-asawa kayo, ang tawag dyan, katuwang sa buhay, partner sa buhay. They are not in any way our children because we are both mature individuals who entered a mature relationship. And that is very critical. So if you note that ang dali naman niyang magalit, napaka-sensitive naman niya. Parang ito yung sinasabi mo kanina, Carl, that is it always about him? Yes, if the person feels that he's so paranoid na ako na naman ang sinisi, or they have a victim mentality, they feel insecure with anything, and you actually become a threat. Meron ako narinig na relasyon, parang nakikipag-compete sa kanilang partner. They see people as competition. They see their partner as competition. That is critical. That is critical in itself. So you have to check what is that level of maturity. If you would go back to the topic on self-worth, that's the core of this. And then there's another word that we use in family system. It's called self-differentiation. Can the person be mature enough to differentiate who he is? Kilala ba niya sarili niya? Mahal ba niya ang Diyos? Kilala ba sa relasyon ba siya sa sarili niya? So, kung ang isang tao ay lagi lang nakatingin sa kung ano yung sasabihin ng ibang tao, and then kung ang basis ng maturity ng isang partner is yung sense ng relasyon niya sa'yo. And he's always relying for you, on what he needs, his happiness, to fulfill what he lacks and then get out of the relationship. As I always share with my students, if someone tells you, you complete me, get out of the relationship because you're not born to complete someone. We get into a relationship to complement each other, not actually to complete. May tanong dito, Doc, mas okay ba na pag mag-boyfriend pa lang, awayin mo na para alam mong paano niya i-handle? Wag mo naman awayin. Wag mo naman talagang purposely awayin. Pero pag may nakita na kayo, yes, ako, I believe that. Pag if you are not together yet, and you have to be very observant. Tama yan, Lake. Kaaway, you have to be very observant. You call it off. If you mean, I mean, you call out. Pag tingin mo, parang hindi naman tama yan. Hindi mo dapat na pinapalampas kasi doon mo makikita how the person will deal with it. You would also see that how you are the person dealing with it, because it's very critical. Boyfriend and girlfriend stage, it's not the stage na magpakyut. Boyfriend and girlfriend stage, it's actually, I teach this, that boyfriend and girlfriend stage are the going steady. The premarital stage in a couple's lives is actually the time for the couple to know the dynamics of their relationship and to get to know each other deeper. What does it mean? Doon mo makikita what you bring into the marriage. So if you are single, this is the best time for you to get to know. Ang biggest tanong, kaya mo bang dalin? Nakita mo tong red flags na to. Nakita mo na pag nagalit or na-stress, isang buwan kang hindi kakausapin. Pagkasal na kayo at may anak na kayo at magkasama na kayo sa bahay, pwede ba yon? So it's not just the pa-cute stage, boyfriend and girlfriend, it's actually the stage for you, the critical stage to ask, can I live with my partner together in the home? And can I deal with his or her individual differences or idiosyncrasies? So, dun mo yan makikita. So, it's not that iaawayin mo. At ang pinakamagandang mangyari, you learn how to deal with conflict together. If ikaw lang ang magde-deal with sa conflict, at siya'y ayaw harapin ng conflict, ikaw nang makakasagot dyan. Kaya mo ba yun? Hindi naman tayo excuse sa conflict, even me. Okay, and the last one for today. So the fifth, the maturity of the person. And the last one for today is their mutual trust and respect. You know, I've heard this many times in many marriages, even in boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, yung your boyfriend, pagkaharap ka, treating you badly, or pag kayong dalawa lang, di ba? Pag kayong dalawa lang, parang kung itrato ka, nung mag-boy, parang ang tapang sa'yo, pero sa ibang tao, hindi. Hindi ka nila kayang protektahan at hindi ka kanila kayang tayuan. So you have to check, is there mutual trust and respect? Because if trust and respect mawala sa relasyon, there's no more relationship. Bakit pa kayo magkasama? So, mutual trust, pareho. And mutual respect, because respect is actually the bottom line for me of respect is actually full acceptance of the persons of the other person kahit na ano pa siya. Ito yung dito papasok yung mahal kita maging sino ka man. Totoo yun. Pero dapat may mutual trust and respect. Pinagkakatiwalaan mo ba? Kaya minsan parang that's old saying, jealousy is a sign of love. No, it's not. Jealousy, it's not a sign of love. That's too high school. Jealousy, it's a sign of insecurity. Because in adult relationship, in mature loving relationship, mutual trust and respect. Eh, paano kung magkamali? Paano kung pagkakatiwalaan? Eh, yun na yun. Yun yung mga bagay na ipagpapasa Diyos natin at kaya natin tanggapin. So, is there mutual trust and respect? Kasi baka dito pa lang masagot na yung tanong sa inyo. So, friends, if you have family members, if you have friends na alam nyo na they need to notice relationship flags, we're not gonna be the pakialamerang titas. We're gonna be the well-meaning titas to slowly uh, get into their head, get into their circle of influence to be able to share this with them. So let me repeat that six for today, and then the next six will be discussed on Thursday. One, how does the person deal with significant people? The second, how does he deal with stressful events or significant events, either good or bad? The third, what are his or her values? Sense of being intentional and consistency with his values. The fourth one, vulnerable. How is he with being vulnerable and how is he with communication? And the fifth one, how is that person of maturity and sense of responsibility? Can the person take responsibility for himself? Yung sinabi niya, kaya ba niyang panagutan? Yung sinabi niya, kaya ba niyang tanggapin? Pag nagkamali siya, can he admit that he made a mistake? Pag nagkamali siya, can he say that, wait, I am sorry. Gagawan ko to ng paraan. Pagka hindi niya kayang gawa ng paraan at tinatakbuhan niya ang kanyang responsibility at pagkakamali, and then that's a problem altogether. And the last one is their mutual trust and respect, because that is very critical. So, friend, that's about coffee break for today, and that it's about the six relationship red flags. I will continue with six other red flags on Thursday. So let me just invite you to this workshop that I'll conduct. For those of you who have not listed up, please join me in September 18th. This is the last week that we're opening the registration for Martha's Paws Body and Being. It's going to be a very beautiful workshop for you to get to know your to be able to get to know your worth and your well-being. It's happening online. This is exclusive for ladies. So the registration details are here. We're opening the registration until September 12th. So just this weekend. So if you would like, please join me. We have limited slots left. When I say limited, napuno na kasi yung slot. So konti na lang yung slot na kailangan naming punuin. So I hope that you'll join me. Some of you have already listed down. So I hope that you join me then. And of course, please do share and please put that alert and notification for coffee break whenever I go live. Of course, you know I go live every Tuesday and Thursday. You can also share the stream happening in Facebook. This is also in YouTube. You just search for Coffee Break with Dr. Michele Lignay. And it's also in Spotify. So yung mga gustong gawin akong radio, it's also in Spotify. And lastly, I'm inviting you, if you would like, get a copy of my books, The Beauty of 40 and Wrapping the Gift of Midlife, and my other book. It's still available also, Family Goals, Embracing the Imperfections of Family Life. You can purchase it via Facebook, in Lazada, and in Shopee. So, if you have insights that you learned for today, please come and put it here at the comment section. What did you learn? Ano ang takeaway mo? Ano ang dapat mong dalhin for today? And I hope that I'll see you again, friends, on Thursday for the continuation of this topic, relationship red flags, here at Coffee Break with Dr. Michele. Magandang hapon!